question card and read by one of our staff members. If you'd like a card, but you did not receive one on the way in, please let us know and someone will bring you a card and they will collect it for the question and answer portion of our time together. Please remember all Q&A will occur after the presentation. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce Deputy Director Christopher Wheeler and his team as they present on behalf of Rockdale County's Planning and Development Department.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
With that, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Deputy Director Christopher Wheeler and his team as they present on behalf of Rockdale County's Planning and Development Department.
Thank you for that introduction, Deputy Director Jameson. Again, my name is Christopher Wheeler. I'm the Deputy Director for Planning and Development. And with me today is our Code Enforcement Manager, Mr. Doug Chandler, and our Business Development Manager, Ms. Amy Davis. So as we proceed with our presentation, for tonight, a few highlights we want to talk about is, of course, the introduction, our services that we do here, that we provide in the plan development, what our future plans are, and then conclusion and so forth. So again, you can see our beautiful picture, our faces and so forth. So again, you can see our official titles and so forth. So what is our mission here at Planning and Development? Our mission is to provide accurate information for the administration of permits, business licenses, nonprofit registration, alcohol beverage licenses, development plan review, zoning, and long-range planning. Who do we work with? We work with Rockdale citizens, business owners, and real estate developers. We administer permits, licensing, plan review, short range and long range, and our goal is, again, is to provide great customer service, educate the public, and maintain a quality of life here in Rockdale County. So to get specific about the services we provide, for zoning and long-range planning, we provide property and zoning information and permitted uses and building setback lines, just for example, as well as parking landscape requirements, as well as sign regulations. For our code enforcement division, we look at correcting violations of the county ordinance, as well as educating the public on the ordinance, as well as bringing ordinance violations into compliance. When it comes to our CIT, our Community Improvement Team, we do trash pickup as well as we do countywide beautification projects. For our permit and licensing, we review business license operating within the uncorporated area of Rockdale County that must apply to obtain a business license. So, question is, how does this affect you? So, first off is new construction. So anytime you see new construction occurring in the county, more than likely it has come through our office to require it to be reviewed for the correct permitting, as well as if you see somebody open up a new business. They came to our department to make sure that they have the correct paperwork for their new business. If you happen to see an animal that's on the side of the road in the morning and you don't see it on the way back, more than likely our CIT improvement team came by and picked it up. As far as our land use amendment rezoning applications, those public hearings that you see or you hear about, or those big beautiful signs, more than likely that's us. Somebody's coming to the county and says, hey, I want to change a particular zoning on a piece of property, and of course you have to go through the public hearing process and go to the board of commissioners to get approval. So just to kind of give you a snapshot of our weekly data, before you is a picture of our code enforcement complaints that we have throughout the entire county. We have 8 zones, and to the left is our pie graph. Again, this is just a kind of just a weekly snapshot of the code complaints that we have throughout the entire county. For this particular week, our largest complaints come from Zone 8 and Zone 6. Zone 6 having 21% of our total complaints, and Zone 8 having 18% of our complaints. Again, it varies from week to week. It also depends on the type of violation that's occurring there as well. So. Next shot is just this weekly snapshot of our business and building permits. As you can see, between January, April, and July, and September, there's really no established pattern. It all kind of fluctuates because, again, it depends on exactly who's submitting a permit, who's submitting for a business license as well. You can kind of see that that sometimes that we do get a lot of residential building permits, and sometimes it goes down. And then as well as our alcohol permits. The alcohol permits which is highlighted in blue. As you see, those are really come in September. Usually those are just renewals. So again, those are the only ones that we'll see a lot. But as far as our residential building permits and new business license, those tend to fluctuate just depending on the overall economy. Looking to the right is our zoning inquiries. Again, is our zoning applications, special use permits, and pre-applications. So again, those all depend on the economy of the United States. Again, those can fluctuate depending on what's going on. We may see a lot, we may see a little. It all depends on the fluctuating overall economy of the state and as well as the United States. So when to give us a call? You can give us a call anytime, but specifically if you want us to give us a call, you can give us a call for code complaints. If you happen to see something that, if somebody has an overgrown weed or a dilapidated building and so forth, give code enforcement a call. We'll go out there, we'll check to see exactly what type of violations we have, try to get in touch with the property owner. New business license inquiry. If you want to start a new business but you do not know where to start, give us a call. Our licensed and permit tech analysts are trained to be able to help you figure out exactly what do you need to get a business license. Want to know the zoning of a piece of property. So say if you have a piece of property that's been passed down from generation to generation and you have no idea you have no idea what you want to do with it. Well, call us, call the zoning department. We can tell you the type of zoning it is. It may be agricultural, it may be residential, it may be even commercial, but you won't know until you give us a call. Within those zoning classifications, we can tell you what the permitted uses are allowed in that area. So if we happen to land on a particular use that you like to do, we can tell you about that. As well as our litter pickup as well. If, as the chairman said, if you see something, say something. So if you do see trash on the side of the road, give us a call. We'll send our community improvement team to come pick it up. So our future plans. So here in the Plan Development Department, we plan on trying to do more image and beautification projects through our CIT division. We would like to try to take an area and try to beautify it and try to make it a little bit more beautiful than what we've found it. Those are our particular goals. With our code enforcement manager, Mr. Doug Chandler, kind of spearheading that. That is our goal, is to find a particular area and make a beautification projects. That's what we're hoping for. Unified Development Ordinance. Our ordinance is old. It needs to have a lot of rewrites and a lot of work to it. So we're looking to make some text amendments to make it a little bit more flexible, make it more up to date, and make it more, I would say not less cumbersome, but make it a little bit more streamlined. So it makes it easier for everybody to understand exactly what your do's and do nots you can happen in the county. As well as social investment. What we're trying to do as well is we're trying to reach out to the local schools as well as to try to explain how important planning and development is to the county, well, I say overall to everybody, because everything that comes in the county or starts with, as far as business license, businesses, from code in place, essentially comes through our department. We pretty much touch everything, but a lot of people do not understand exactly what we do here in planning and development. So we're going to try to reach out and try to do more community engagement projects with the local schools and try to say, hey, let's get an intern in, understand exactly what do we do in planning and development. So key takeaways from our PowerPoint. One is call first or email us. Please, if you have any of the inquiries that you're wondering about as far as business license, if you have a building permit, you want to do inspections, email us inspections, general planning, zoning questions, code enforcement, as well as commercial development building permits. Give us a call or just shoot us an email. We do our best to respond back within 24 to 48 hours. There is a process to everything. Unfortunately, we cannot just snap our fingers and approve something. It does take a time for us to review everything, but we understand that a lot of people, time is money. People want to get their permits and they want to move on. We really want you guys to understand that there's a process. If we don't go through the process, mistakes does happen, and then that makes the overall process time a little bit longer than normal. So please work with us when we tell you there's a process. We're not doing it just to be mean. We're telling you that there is a process to everything. Also, when you do call, try not to be vague. Try to provide specifics. Here in planning and development, our answers can be a litany of things, but it all depends on the type of specifics you provide to us. So if you come in an office and says, hey, what can I do with this piece of property? That's an open-ended question. You could probably do a lot of things with a piece of property, but you want to get down to the specifics of it, just say, hey, I want to maybe build a house on it. Can I build a house on it? Okay, yeah, if it's zoned for it. Okay, can you develop at the certain size that you want to? Well, you go on further down. If you be vague, then I can tell you a lot of stuff. And then when you're vague, you may not get the answer that you want to hear because, again, you didn't give us enough information to work with. So, again, please be specific. If you aren't specific, just get general information, take time to think about it, and then come back and talk to us. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be here. Also, which I forgot to mention on there, if you do not get through the first time, please do not stop. Keep calling, keep trying. I encourage you to be annoyingly persistent. That's I promise you, we are here to help. I understand that we can't get to everybody within the first try, but please keep calling, and we will get to you. That is in our presentation. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Deputy Director Wheeler. That was a lot of information in a short amount of time. That was like a power punch. So we certainly appreciate you all and that information that you brought to us today. We are now opening the floor for questions. If you've yet to turn in your question card, please raise your hand if you'd like to. Okay. So we have one here. I think we got this one online before the meeting. We have a couple more. Perfect. So this is an opportunity for you all to answer some of the questions from our community.
Okay.
One question came from Kimberly Hargrove. How do I find out businesses coming to the county? How do I find out about businesses coming to the county?
Okay, so that is a really good question. As far as finding out what businesses are coming, we are kind of in the same spot that she is. Kimberly, thank you for that question. We honestly don't find out until the business owner or the prospective person that's going to do business is coming until they come to the office to apply for a business license. Or if there's a project that is, for example, they've gotten a building permit, that allows us to kind of see ahead of time what is coming, if it's a gas station or a restaurant or a spa, or if someone's taking over a business and renovating it to become something brand new. But we do have a monthly brand new license listing that goes out every month. We are currently trying to get that back up and rolling, so if you would like to know what new businesses have applied and that are in the county, you are more than welcome to email us at inspections@rockdalecountyga.gov and submit your email and your inquiry in regards to what businesses are here, and we will put you on the monthly list for new businesses.
Okay, perfect. Here's a doozy of a question. Prepare yourselves.
Okay.
Where is your new location, and is it open to the public?
Yes, so we're located at 1117 West Avenue. We're right next door to the Board of Elections and across the street from the Georgia Extension Office. We are open from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Perfect. Are y'all enjoying your new location?
Oh, yes.
Good, good.
Yes, it's good not to walk by. It's just good to be over there. Yes, yes.
Not sure where that was going, Deputy Director Wheeler, but good. I'm glad you all are enjoying. All right, another question. What is the role of the Planning Commission in what you all do?
So the role of the Planning Commission is, so anytime you have, say, for example, a planning application, so a zoning application, a special use application, or any type of application that deviates from the Code of Ordinance, that requires that you have to have a public hearing. The Planning Commission serves as a representative body of the county. So you are represented, not elected, but selected from the Board of Commissioners. So you are the people of, I would say, you are the people's representative for the county. So you are going to take in applications that come to you, and you review those applications, and you give those recommendations to the Board of Commissioners for consideration. You are a very important step in the zoning application process, because again, as part of a zoning application, and that's asking for I wouldn't say variance, but you're asking for a different zoning classification than it was already zoned for. You're asking to get special approval. Therefore, what better avenue than asking the people who are representative of the area to take in and review the application? Because again, the people who are serving on the board are all county residents. They know exactly what the county is like, what's all going on. So they are uniquely situated to review each application and to give their critical feedback for each application.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And just for clarity and for the record, that question came from Mr. Tom Harrison. All right?
Thank you, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you.
The next question is, what are some frequently asked questions?
Okay, I'll go first, and then my colleagues will go. So one of our frequently asked questions for planning and zoning is, what is this property zoned for? That's pretty much kind of our most common question is, hey, what is the zoning of this property? Because most people do not understand, I wouldn't say understand, they aren't aware of zoning in their local municipality. Some people believe that you can just kind of do whatever you want to do on your piece of property because you own your piece of property. However, we have zoning laws to make sure that certain uses do not conflict with other uses. So, example, we try to mitigate having harsh industrial or harsh commercial uses right next to low density agricultural or residential uses. So, to prevent somebody from saying, "Hey, guess what? I'm about to start." I would say a trucking business at a location right next to an established residential subdivision area, you have to go through the zoning process for that. You just can't automatically do that. Probably our second most frequent question is, what is a setback? So most people think when you come in and apply for a building permit, you can probably put your new accessory structure right up to your property line. However, you cannot do that. You have to have a certain distance between your property, the actual building itself, and your your neighbor's property line as well. You want to respect each other's property. You don't want to encroach on your neighbor's property. So those two are probably our biggest questions to be asked is, what is the setback and what is our zoning?
Okay, to add to that one, zoning is very important when it comes down to business licenses, whether it is a home occupational office where you set up for your office at home, or it's a commercial location, which we call concrete building that you're working from with the office. The reason why zoning is very important, like he said, there are certain things that you're zoned to do at home. Say, for instance, not just being at home and doing a telecommunication kind of service or anything like that. You can also do things such as cottage foods. You can do maybe online retail, things like that. But a lot of people, you know, when it comes down to, say I want to do logistics for my trucking company, a lot of people are getting into doing their own trucking company and going out on the road to do CDL driving. One of the things that is not zoned for a home occupation, you cannot park your truck there. You cannot park your commercial vehicle there. It has to go to, either has to be parked at a commercial location where you have an agreement to park it there, most importantly at a truck location where you have a lease agreement to park the truck there. So we do have affidavits and different things in place for that to help with home occupational. Also with commercial, you have to make sure that, say for instance, someone wants to sell alcohol at a restaurant or say at a convenience store, you have to make sure that that commercial location is not anywhere near a church, school, things like that. So zoning plays hand in hand, as well as just knowing exactly what one of the frequent questions is, where or am I able to do a business? The first question we ask when you come in, are you city or are you county? That's the most important thing, because there are 2 jurisdictions within our county. So we also have our own ordinances, our own codes that we abide by. So what we may say is a yes to, city may say no.
Well, that segue, I think you took everything. But we get a number of those same questions, being that code enforcement enforces all those standards, all those different types of uses. But the biggest one, as she said, about commercial trucks. We know logistics is very big across the nation. So, can I park my commercial vehicle in the neighborhood? More so, it's a, can you do that? That's a negative. No, you cannot. So, there's a specific zoning location for that. And as she said, so when it comes to a trucking company, a lot of folks are coming right out of their homes. So I would say that's the biggest question that's most frequently asked of code enforcement.
Perfect. Thank you all so much. Before we move on, I do want to pause to make sure that all of our audience members had an opportunity to ask their question. I was down to my last question, but wanted to pause for station identification just to ensure everyone that had a question had it answered. It looks like we are good. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our info session. We'd like to thank you all for attending this info session this evening. We hope that your questions were answered and you gained a little more insight into the planning and development portion of our county. Don't know what happened there. Please remember, you can always go back and view the info session on Rockdale County's Facebook page, the county website, Rockdale 23 YouTube, and the county Vimeo page. Our next session will be right here at the same location. That's 903 Main Street, right here in Conyers, Old Town Conyers, at 6 p.m. on May the 10th, with presentations from the Parks and Recs and Senior Services. Thank you all again for coming out, and we hope to see you the next time. Have a wonderful evening.